Hey, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It's Monday morning. It's September 11th, and it's 6:33 in the a.m. And I am reading Daily Reflections, which is the Alcoholics Anonymous reading. And it's talking about what it's been talking about for several weeks now, making amends. I've entitled my recording Frozen with Fear. Let's just get into the reading and I'll explain why my title is different. It says, above all, we should try to be absolutely sure we are not delaying because we are afraid. Why would you be afraid? We're afraid because, one, at some point we will finally have to just tell the truth or come to the realization that people have been telling us the truth about ourselves. One or the other, and coming to that realization at some point, after a lifetime of denial, after a lifetime of lies, after a lifetime of dichotomy, coming to that realization, it's like having your cover snatched on a cold day. That I've been living a lie, or I've been presenting this image to people for forever. And most of us, take our toys and go home because making amends is too much for us. Most of us tend to blame other folks because making amends is too much for us. Amen. We've grown accustomed to the lie. We've grown comfortable in the lie. And unfortunately, we don't see it as a lie because we've lived it for so long. So then we rest in the that's just who I am isms and the what about isms. And the what about isms are a form of projection. Well, what about you? You did X, Y, Z. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? Always taking the spotlight off where it needs to be, your head and your heart. The writer says to have courage, to be unafraid, are gifts of my healing. They empower me to ask for help and to go forth in making amends and adjustments with a sense of dignity and humility. See, the word dignity, that's funny because we get high and mighty in a lie. That's when we engage in the whataboutisms and the projection, to hold our position in that lie. We get high and mighty in the lie and buck at the righteousness in saying, yes, I did mess up. Or the apologies that aren't really apologies, the apology that is still self-centered. The action for the egregious act is definitely self-centered. But the apology is also self-centered at times. Well, I just need to pull back and do me. I need to figure out what's what. I need space. I tried to tell you I needed space. And, space to do what? Continue to lie. Continue to live in the lie. And so the egregious act is how you tell me or how you show your character. See, we need to be clear about what definitions that we're putting forth. Because what's really going on is a form of self-sabotage rather than hear the truth. I will hurt somebody as opposed to dealing with me. Or in your dealing with you, you're basically cutting off the voice of the truth so you can go back to being you in your mess and your madness. I want you to think about what I'm saying here. Going back to being you in your mess and your madness, I'm just cutting off the voice that told me about how messy I am. I'm doing a geographic from the things that show me how messy I am. But I don't have to look at the shipwreck. There was no shipwreck. Oh yeah, I got a little scuffed up. Here's a visual for you. It's like totaling a car. Rolling it away. Now it can't start anymore. It can't move anymore. It's completely demolished. But because it rolled a few feet away, you say, oh, I drove away a little worse for wear, but I'm okay. And you're basically driving the frame of a car. The emperor's new clothes kind of moment. It was still mobile for several feet. We're funny that way. Our pride prevents our healing. Our projection builds a wall against the things and the people of God. You fault the things and the people of God for your behaviors. You want God on your own terms, not on His terms. Let me get back to this. It says, making amends may require a certain amount of honesty that I feel I lack. Yet with the help of God and the wisdom of others, I can reach within and find strength to act. Can you? If you're still praying that prayer, thy kingdom come, my will be done. And by that, my will and my ways are right and everybody else is wrong. Some of us are entrenched in that and live it out. And, you've heard me pose the question, how many bodies are attributed to your spiritual warfare? Your war against you. It says, my amends may be accepted or they may not. But after they are completed, I can walk away with a sense of freedom and know that for today, I am accountable. Amen. Are you frozen in fear? Are you going to trust God and the people He's placed in your life? Amen and amen.